Now I'll just show you my Docker Compose file. Let's go to Docker Compose file. See what Docker Compose has is it's just a YAML file which has some version, and now ideally they have removed this version also. They say not required. So in Docker Compose, what we do, we mention services. In this services, if you see, I have mentioned one server. This is my one container configuration I'm giving. And I say for running this container, you should build a node server. This node server is there in my folder. I'll show you. So Docker Compose is telling in first service, you build this folder. In this folder, if I take you node-server, where is that? Here. If I take you to that server, I show you a Docker file. What did I say earlier is the purpose of Docker file? Okay, no, Vishnupriya sent, okay, images. Yeah, see, it is used to create an image. If you notice, it is very simple text file. It says from node 10 Alpine. Alpine are very lightweight images. What I'm doing is, I'm saying take node version 10 image. This is where I'm building on top of an image. I select that image from Docker Hub. What I do is on top of that, run my own commands. Run, make a directory inside this image, and in this folder, make a directory, home, node, app, node modules, and change the ownership of that to an account to user node. So this is one command we are running on top of this image. This image is a Linux image, so all these commands you will see will be Linux commands. After running this command, think of it simple that we have created a folder and we have given ownership of the folder to a Linux user. Next, we are setting our working directory. It is as good as we are changing to this directory. Move to this directory. Then copy package.json file from here to working directory. So we are just going to copy the package.json file. People here who are aware of Node.js, this is just a project file which knows what dependencies to install. So it has express dependency, that is our web server. Okay, this file will be copied here. Then we are saying switch to user node, do npm install, copy and change the ownership of every file from here. So what web server running is this? So I have a simple web server written here. You know what this web server does? If I run and show you, let me go to my node server directory. If I run node server.js, okay, it will ask me to install dependencies, npm install. Just a one file with 20 lines of code. Now if I say node server.js, it runs on 7070. If I open this, all you see is it is returning a web page. Web page says Node.js and it prints my server name. This is my laptop's name it is printing. And that is coming from, if I take you here, get requests come. I'm just sending an h1 tag, style, I'm giving some color. This color is randomly generated. So get random color is a function I have written because every server we want to give a random color. And then it says node server and I'm returning server name. If you see, it is just one formatted line of output that I'm returning from my server. So that when there are multiple servers, we have a way to distinguish which server is responding. So this is my Node.js server and this is my server name. Two things are dynamic here, color and server name. And if I stop this server, start it again. If I go back to what was running, if I refresh it, if you see color change to blue. If I stop it, start it again, probably this time color will be another color. So that random color is just little fancy stuff being done. But all it is returning is one HTML line of code. Okay, that is the simple server. Just return one line, that's all. So server is running on a port, server is returning this, color and server name are the two things. Extra lines of code is taken by this random color generator, that's all. Otherwise, it's a very simple express code. Okay, continuing with Docker file. So we copied our server.js file into the image and we say expose port 8080. This doesn't ideally carry any meaning. This is just for readers to see that we are exposing port 8080. Ideally, that is not the case. Here we are exposing 7070. So I should actually make it 7070. But this is just for placeholder. And when we are saying when this entire image is done, in order to run our server, we should run a command node server.js. This one file is just for creating the image. That's all. No rocket science here. So after bundling this together, Docker Compose very well understands if there is a build, it will read Docker Compose file and it will create the image on my laptop. If I want to put this image to Docker Hub, I'll have to use some Docker push commands to push this image to Docker Hub. Then you can also download and install. So here I have not done that. I have not pushed this image to Docker Hub. Okay, so this is about building. Then we say restart always. If some error happens, restart. Environment, we are giving environment variable so that tomorrow if I have to change the port from 7070 to some other port, I can do that very well. So this is a port, and this port, if you notice, it will be owned by my server port. It says if environment variable is there, take that port, otherwise take 7070 as port. And this is the port mapping. We are saying, hey, if this is running on my laptop port 7071 should be mapped to 7070 port of first server. This is clear to everyone? Great. Okay, so what I did is one more creative exercise I did. I did not create multiple backend server. Ideally, I could have copied this. I could have said, see if I do this, and if I say my backend server 2 is also node server, only thing I change is the port mapping. I said 7072. I can run basically 2 containers also with same build. That is possible to do. What I did is I did not go with that. What I did is I went ahead with multiple technologies. You remember we said we can do horizontal scaling, we can do vertical scaling, or we can change the tech. We can optimize our code. That is what I have tried to do here. So I have a node server. That is what I showed you. I have a Python server. So people here who code in Python, you will understand this folder much better. What it is doing is it is creating Python web server here, which is again returning the same thing. Python server name, host name. So we are returning an HTML response from Python server. Same way I have done a Golang server. So you will see in Golang also, there is a Go module created host name server. So this is main.go will have. Yeah, so this is Golang web server. Same way I have put a C# web server. I have put a C++. C++ for some reason is not working. So ignore that. I would have commented that line in my Docker Compose. And there is a Java Spring Boot. So you see that all technology flavors are available. So my Docker Compose file is this backend 1 will have backend 2, backend 3, backend 4, and backend 5. As I was telling you that C++ had some build issues. So I just commented that out. And backend 6. So these 6, now 5 effectively web servers we have, containers we have. Then we have one additional container, which is load balancer. I am just, here it was build command. Here I'm saying just get the image. I'm telling load balancer, just get the Nginx image, because that is a professionally available load balancer. I'm just downloading that, giving the port of that. Load balancer on my laptop will run at 7070. It depends on these. So it depends on, ensures that first other containers will run. After that, this will start, because we want backend servers to be up before load balancer comes in. And last line, we are saying map Nginx conf to this file in the container. So basically, Nginx needs one file, default conf file, which is configuration file where we put all our configuration. That file is also created on my laptop here in Nginx conf, and we are just mapping this file to the container. We are saying, hey, same file, just map it inside the container, inside the running image in this path, because that path will be picked by Nginx. Now, if I show you this path, all we are saying is we are telling, hey, these are the upstream servers that you should send the traffic to. And in Nginx, we are saying Nginx should run on port 80. This is configuration file of Nginx, and it should just do a proxy pass. Whatever request comes to Nginx server, it should just pass to backend, and backend is a name given to this group of servers. So this way, we are just telling Nginx to, hey, pass these requests in round robin fashion by default to these 5 servers. 6th one we have commented it. C++ we have commented. So this folder structure, I believe, is clear to everyone now.